Down. Well, I'm trying to get there.
You're good. Ooh, look at it pop up on my phone.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
All them platforms. It's coming up.
Good.
Yep.
All right.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Turn mine just a bit. Oh, other way.
Bear with us tonight.
Welcome, everybody.
Married to the Road. Follow Larry and Angie Baum and their two fur babies, Gizmo and Bandit, as they trek across America, trying to make a difference in the trucking community. As the founders of Trucker Safety Info, they inform truckers about bad weather, construction, accidents, and more. Also the founders of Treat a Trucker, where they gift truckers with Walmart and food gift cards to show their appreciation to the American trucker. Follow their journey on Married to the Road on Facebook today.
Okay.
Oh, that made me miss them so much more.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, guys.
So, I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. So obviously we are missing some of our favorite people due to illnesses, and we miss them terribly. So Angie and Larry and Lori and James, we wish you the best health ever. We do wish you were here with us, but we got you back. So to the viewers, thank you again for coming and hanging out with us this evening. Please bear with us. We are going to do our best and try to hopefully get through this without any issues.
I like the message right here.
Thank you,
That
Angie.
was awesome.
That is the plan. That is
I
the
had to
plan.
highlight that.
So tonight we are going to be talking about being a parent in a trucking family. So whether you're a truck driver and you have children and a wife at home, or you're the wife at home with kids and you're doing a balancing act, we are going to talk about all of that tonight. And we want to hear from you and your thoughts on it. One of the things that I came across when I was doing some research earlier was that somebody had asked, can a mom be a professional truck driver? And the mom in me kind of went, watch me, right? So
Right.
I want to know what people think about that, because being a mom is kind of hard enough without, thinking about being on the road and trying to figure out how to make that work. And I'm going to make the assumption that there's a dad involved and he'll be home, maybe. I guess it could work any way we really think about. So, what are your thoughts?
I agree with that comment right there. I really do. I really, from what I've seen, from what I've experienced, I really
That's going to be Lori.
It might be.
Maybe. So it is very difficult being a mom. There's a lot that goes with that. There's a lot of implications between the word mom. And I think that comment kind of hit it on the head. It's not that different. And you make adjustments, you make adaptations. And I know I'm lucky enough that I have, I live very close to a lot of support people. But I know that's not the case for everyone. I know that's not true for everyone. So I don't feel like, I'm not sure how to word this. I'm like, I feel like anybody can be a truck driver if they want to be. Let me put it that way.
Right.
There's definitely limits across the board there.
It's just a matter of those everybody has to make adjustments, I guess, is the word. That's not the word I want to say, and I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Chemo brain.
And maybe like one of my points I was going to talk about later is flexibility. Maybe that's what you're looking for. It's an industry that offers a lot of that, but you also have to have a lot of flexibility as well.
Yep.
Yes.
Being the spouse.
Sacrifices. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, a lot of sacrifices and a lot of compromising.
Yeah, Angela said that both is a hard equation. That's very true.
Yep.
Mona raised 2 children on the truck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes,
God love you.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely, you have to definitely balance and kind of, I would think, walk a tight line. I would imagine it's very difficult. I can't even imagine, really.
You can really find on some of the internet superhighway out there some single moms that are just totally rocking it out, and I don't know how they do it. So I give it up to them.
Right.
I know, right? Raise the roof for them.
Raise them, yes.
Owner operators, and yeah, exactly.
So, I was doing some research again, just kind of reading through things, and Ashley and I found, what did we find the divorce rate was among truck drivers?
We ended up finding the most accurate statistic, and that was that it was over 60%.
Mm-hmm. And the national average, I believe, is between 50 and 60%. So, that's rough. That is rough.
It is. Sheila was saying she grew up with dad being out on the road and watched her mom deal with it. And how did she deal with it, Sheila? That would be nice to know.
Yes.
Hear that.
How did your mom deal with it?
I love that we have these comments coming in.
I'm glad everybody's joining in. We all appreciate that.
So that's one of our questions that we actually had. So, and it's for both truck drivers and for the wives at home. And how do you deal with that, being overwhelmed? For the truck driver, when he comes home, how do you come home for your 3 or 4 days and you only have that amount of time with your family, and they all want you, they all want to be with you, they all want your attention and your time? How do you deal with that? And then for the wives, obviously we're balancing everything at home. We're paying bills, we're taking the kids to their appointments. I have my own appointments, and this is my own personal experience. So, you have to, one of my things is to remember to make time for myself, to that self-care,
Yes.
and take a breath, and not dump at things on him when he gets home.
And that is very rough, hard to do, because I know I've done that in the past. And, just, here, you deal with it. I can't do it this weekend. And, and I know that wasn't right.
Right.
Well, sure, right? And Ron is my soulmate, so to not like want to take all of him all the time when he's home is really hard.
I think to piggyback, like I'm not even going to run through my points. I'm just going to kind of piggyback because I have that written down myself. To maximize your home time, you already miss out on so much. So when you get home, focus on your family, block out other people or other distractions and, worry about your family when you're home. I think that's what's most important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think Sheila, she made a good point about that as well. Make the most of your time when you're home and talk to him every night. That's awesome. Yes, Angela. Exactly. We talk about that a lot. A lot.
So that self-care.
Yes.
I'm so behind on my self-care, and I'm not even out there anymore. But yeah, absolutely, especially the people on the road.
Yes, because I'm bad about doing for everybody else instead of doing something for myself.
That's right.
Women are nurturers. I mean, that's what we were created to be. So, and here's Justin. One of his biggest gestures is to make up for time is dating, but in any relationship, you should never stop dating. Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
Never, even if you're married, you should never stop dating your spouse or your significant other. Just because you got somebody doesn't mean you should stop doing those actions, during the pursuit or during the courtship. You should still be doing those little things.
Exactly. Me and my husband's name is Chris, and once a month we set aside for date night.
Yes.
And we, it might be a Friday night when he comes home. It might be a Saturday night. And we've done a lunch. And we okay, where's our date lunch? So you just have to figure it out.
And that goes kind of to what I was going to talk about, and that's communication. Phone, video, text. Make sure you're doing those video calls with one another. Because the phone and texting is one thing, right? It's great to hear our one that's gone's voice and everything like that. It's great to see their message pop up. But as much as you can, do those video chats. Send little funny video messages. If you don't have time to do the full video call, then just send a little funny video of you saying I love you or whatever it is.
We did a lot of those when he was over the road.
Right?
Chris sends me these little, I guess, GIF photos. During the day, each one is different, and I love that. I look forward to that.
Right.
And I want to hear from some of the wives, because I know, one of the questions I had written down was what do you do to feel closer to your man while he's away, or vice versa? What do you guys do to keep it fresh and to keep it alive? Because I know I voice call Ron. I try to be involved. He'll often call me and ask me to help him, find the closest truck stop or look between his 2 points where he's going. So it helps me feel closer to him. It helps me feel like I'm involved, even though I'm not a truck driver. I have learned I have learned so much from him in 8 years. It is unbelievable, the stuff that I have learned about the trucking industry. So that helps too, to know what he's going through, what he has to deal with, the rules, the regulations, all those things. It really helps to be a part of him while he's away.
Yeah, and they have trucker path, right? But what's a more personalized trucker path than the person he's with? You are the one that knows. Even if trucker path says that this certain truck stop's open, you may know that he doesn't like that trucker or that truck stop, right?
Exactly.
So you can be like, oh no, he's not going to like that one. So
no.
I just wanted to point out what Laron said, and that's so true. We talked about that before, Catherine.
Yes, we have.
They are a special breed. The women that will do that and support their significant others, it's a special breed, Laron. So, and I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but Laron, I totally agree, and I totally understand where you're coming from. It is very hard.
My honey thanks me every day.
Aww.
Being strong and supporting him.
That's what it's about, that mutual support, for sure. Those encouraging words.
Yes, for sure.
Oh, you wrote a song, Mona? We're going to have to hear that sometime, you guys.
Yes, that would be awesome. So I want to hear from the truck drivers now. So I think, we talked about the divorce rate. We talked about, how the sacrifices. We've talked about the difficulties, the challenges, right? So how do you deal when you're home? Like, there's obviously going to be different parenting styles. I know Ron and I often butt heads because we have very different styles of parenting, and he's more the disciplinarian type, and I am more of the please just do what I ask you to do type. So when he comes home, I usually take a step back and let him take the lead. But I also know, like, during the week, I can call him and get support if I need it. So, oh, Mona, I'm very sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
My heart goes out to you, darling.
And that's something that, that goes back to that flexibility, and communication and having that understanding that this is what I do and this is the sacrifices I make. But I still think that even in that understanding, some people just simply can't hang on for the long haul. And I hate to say the long haul because I know but yeah, it's just,
right.
You think you know, but until you get in it, you don't have any idea. It's just like the military.
That's right. That's right.
And I know there's, with my kids, I have 3 boys, and I get so frustrated when I tell them, hey, do the dishes. And I go and pay bills on Friday. I'm like, all right, please have my house clean before I get back home. Please let me walk into a clean house. And when I walk back in and nothing's been done.
Oh, yeah.
And I get so frustrated. And, my first reaction is calling up Chris. And, like, okay, baby, they didn't do it. They didn't pay attention to me. And it's like, next thing I know, he's gone. And I'm like, wait a minute, where did he go? And he's calling one of them up. And, it's like, hey, let's get this done for your mom. And then when it's time for him to come home.
Yep.
Like,
and that's good because you have that cheerleader, Kathy, that's working with you. I love Justin's comment.
I know. I want to talk on that then.
Yeah.
But Justin said communication is always key. Understanding, support, and compromise are all key, but you have to be open to it. Never assume things. My honey had to learn when I'm busy, I gotta go. Focus is key, but I always get back to her ASAP. That's something I've talked to other wives about, that, a lot of times Ron may not answer his phone. I automatically know because I've talked to him about it. I've asked him, and he communicates with me that he's not in the truck. He's out of the truck and he does not have his phone, or he's doing paperwork, or he's on the phone with his dispatch, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So it is really, really important to keep those channels open, to keep those lines of communication flowing. Don't assume anything. We all know what that means. So I'm not going to say it, but
drivers don't have time in their day for someone that's going to be suspicious, of what they're doing, because so it would have been one thing if I would have just stayed long distance with the person I was with, right? But since I got to be long distance with him and go over the road with him, then I got to see how both things worked, and I got to see, okay, well, that's why all those times, he was doing XYZ, whatever. And not that I was ever suspected of that at the time, but, if you've been out there with them, so try to go on a run with them if you can. Try to go on a run with them, see what they go through, because how do you know what they go through unless you've lived it, unless you've been out there with them? And when you see all of the delays and I had a hard enough time contacting my family back when I was out there, not alone, trying to imagine him contacting me when we were apart. So, absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly, because if I call Chris up and he don't answer the phone, he's out of the truck, or maybe it's a possibility he's backing up.
Right.
Or he forgot to tell me he's got at a truck stop and he's gone in and took a shower. And so I'll sit there and wait for him to call me back.
Right.
Aw, thank you.
Jamie.
Thank you.
Some women and men can handle it, Mona says, but sometimes they get into a relationship with a trucker and say, I didn't sign up for this. You got to live it. Exactly. That's what I was saying. You can say all you want. Oh, I'm going to be with a trucker, because truckers can be, fantasized about in the media or in movies or TV. But until you have been there, or until a member of the military that's close to you and you've seen that lifestyle, then don't think that you can do it, unless you really have experienced that.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And I want to say this one thing. Before I got on the road with him, every time I would get behind a semi truck, I would get so frustrated. Like, why are you moving so slow? Why are you, I would get totally frustrated until the first time I went on the road with him and I've seen it firsthand. Then it was like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah,
and
great.
now
Man, respect.
I give him more respect.
It definitely turned into mad. I agree with that. It turned into mad respect when I was either behind the wheel or in the semi. It was totally changing my rules of the road, focus and respect and everything else. So I agree with that too. Yeah, rude awakening, Angie said.
I think we're going to do a quick commercial.
Yes.
Okay. And we will be right back because I have to adjust my scarf because it's like slipping off my head. So we'll be right back in just a hot sec.
You guys keep coming with the comments.
Yes, for sure.
Exactly. Please do.
Married to the Road. Follow Larry and Angie Baum and their two fur babies, Gizmo and Bandit, as they truck across America, trying to make a difference in the trucking community. As the founders of Trucker Safety Info, they inform truckers about bad weather, construction, accidents, and more. Also the founders of Treat a Trucker, where they gift truckers with Walmart and food gift cards to show their appreciation to the American trucker. Follow their journey on Married to the Road on Facebook today.
Treat a trucker. That's what's up.
Thank them. So I just got all flustered. Okay. So we were talking. So again, thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back. And I guess my question is, so how do you, for the ones with the little ones, this is for parents with little kids, if there's any with us tonight, how do you prepare them for that alone time? How do you prepare them for mom or dad's going to be gone for 3 weeks and they may not be here for your birthday, or they may not be here for your concert or tournament or whatever the case may be. My kids are older and are teenagers, and we all know how teenagers are in this day and age. So now my kids have both gotten a chance to ride with Ron, and my daughter actually really enjoyed it when she was younger, like 8 maybe. She would go, and he was driving flatbed at the time, and she would help him when they'd get to wherever they were going. She would help him. She would have his big gloves on with her little tiny hands, and she would be pulling straps and carrying, whatever she needed to do. And I know when she would go with him, I would always give her, her crayons and her pencils and her coloring books and books to read and the tablet to watch movies on, and, just to kind of keep her entertained on the truck. But I wonder what other parents do for that as well. Like, if your child rides with you, how do you keep them entertained? And like, are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Right.
No, we still have a 9-hour drive. So
yeah, that's what my ex would do. He would do the tablet thing and then the movies, of course, and then little novelties like at truck stops. Like, I know he did fake mustaches once, where he would buy the fake mustaches and they would wear those together and do fun things like that. So And then just, make sure that they have like their favorite snacks and stuff like that too. I agree, Justin. Definitely. Yep.
Oh my God, Justin, my husband says that all the time. He'll be, when he leaves out on the road to go back out on the road, he sends me that video, Asphalt Cowboy.
Yeah, that's a great song. I agree with what Angela said too. The tablet is a lifesaver.
For sure.
So I don't know if anybody's had the experience of co-parenting, but that's what I had an experience with when I was out there, and it was with my guy at the time and his child's mother. And I know that can get pretty rough when you're out there. In his case, he hadn't been that active in his parenting role anyway, so that made it even more stressful for him because there was a lot of flack in that relationship. And then also, like, if he couldn't show up, if the truck broke down or things like that, I think a lot of people need to understand that if you are trying to co-parent with your driver, and like, say you're a female, from a female's perspective, there's 100 million things that can go wrong out on the road, and you really need to try to be as patient as you can. I know, though, coming from your point of view, you being at home all the time, you doing all the main raising, if you have custody or whatever the case may be, you want your child to see more than a paycheck from their father, right? And so I know that you're feeling that too. But there are things that are out of driver's control, all the time. Mm-hmm. So there has to be that mutual understanding and flexibility. There just has to. And it stinks, but sometimes you're going to have to drop at a hat or a moment's notice and change that custody as far as the visitation and things like that. You just have to. I mean, it's just part of the lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So I just want to throw that out there about the co-parenting. But if anybody has co-parenting tips or experiences that they'd like to share, we'd love to hear that too.
Yes.
I'm having the stream's not having technical difficulties. I am.
Oh no!
All right. Oh my gosh. It's more logistics than anything. Okay.
You want to read that one for me, Catherine?
So Mona says, when I started, we didn't have FaceTime to chat. My daughter was 8 and my son was 11. They both rode with me and they would take turns in the front seat. We would play games, etc. And they loved it. But when I had to leave them home, they cried. It was very hard to leave. I can't even imagine Mona having, do that. Super, super impressed that you were able to do that. And Justin says, I gave my son his own phone. Now when he gets in trouble, his mom tells him, go call your father, and I let him hear it. Living 600 miles apart doesn't help by any means. I think that's one of the, I don't know how to say it, but with Ron and I, when I am feeling exhausted or like tapped out is the word I use a lot. When I'm drained and there's nothing left, then I make the phone call. You deal with them. I can't anymore. Right. There's nothing left. And and I guess that's something else I wanted to bring up to the truck drivers. So a year and 3 weeks ago, no, about a year and 1 month ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and it's been a challenge dealing with that with Ron and I, Ron being gone. It was very hard that he wasn't able to be here with me for chemo. It was hard for him when I was going to appointments without him. So how do you on the road deal with something like that when there's a crisis at home, when there's an emergency or health issues or a cancer diagnosis, funerals, stuff like that? What do you do? How do you feel? How do you get through it? We want to know. I want to know.
And I thought of something when you were talking about that. Like, do you moms, like Kathy and Catherine or anybody out there watching, do you guys ever feel guilty? Now, I'm sure when you're stressed out, you don't, right? You're just like, here, take the children. I've had enough. Like whether it be on a phone call or whatever, or whenever the driver comes in, right? But we don't want to try to do that to them either. So do you guys ever feel that guilt or stress, like that you don't want to present this with them because they already have enough out there. I mean,
Yeah.
All
you
the
would
time.
have that feeling,
I try to take as much on as I can. And I can usually tell, like last week, Ashley, I know I talked to you a couple times last week, and you knew, and I knew that there was nothing left at the end of the week. And and it's unfortunately, Lori's here. Yay.
I saw. Hi, Lori.
It's like, yay. I got excited. Sorry. But yeah, it was, and he was only home for one day this weekend, and all he did was do things around the house. And I kind of felt bad, but then again, it was a relief.
Right,
that
because
makes
I know
sense.
how men feel though too. Like they want to do that stuff. They feel needed. They want to feel needed. Like they don't want you to take care of everything, girls. Let me tell you. They want you to leave a couple of honeydew things for them because they feel needed and they feel, respected whenever you let them still take care of business. So I want to read Angela's comment.
Yes.
Is it hard when you have to discipline a kid when your spouse is over the road? Do you include them or handle it on your own?
Oh,
I handle it on my own.
I do both. It depends on the severity of the need, I guess. So, if they are just being down and down, obstinate and miserable teenagers, I make the call and we deal with it together. We did that tonight, actually, before the show. To be honest, and all is peaceful in my house now. So I'll take it.
Right.
Justin says, video chatting. I make myself available and known. I'm there to listen. I try to offer words of encouragement depending on the scenario. It's hard to be supportive when you're not there. I can only imagine.
Exactly. And, I guess with me, it depends on the situation, what it is. If it's severe that I know, okay, your dad needs to know about this, then I call him and, put him on speakerphone and, I let their dad, say his piece and then he lets me say my piece or vice versa. But if it's something that, I can handle, then I just deal with it.
I agree wholeheartedly with what Mona said. I learned that in my own marriage, that you cannot come at, whether you have a trucker or a regular, a spouse that is not in that lifestyle, you cannot bombard that person as soon as they get home with a bunch of, excuse my language, but bitching and nagging and complaining and moaning. You can't. You can't. They want to feel welcome. They want to feel peace. They want to feel, glad to be coming off the road, or why would they want to come home, right? So like, you have to make that a safe space for them. I completely agree.
I agree with that.
Yes, Lori, I agree.
It is a blessing.
And here's one from Angie. When your spouse comes home, do they try to occasionally find one-on-one time with the kids, or is that hard to do?
That's a good one.
I can't speak to that because my kids don't like us. So, JK, I'm just kidding.
I know at one time I would, because he only comes home one time a month, so I would schedule something for either a Saturday or Sunday for the whole family to do. Mm-hmm. And but at least one of them days it's just me and him. So
anybody want to read that one from Lori?
It was very hard to be a dad for James when he was deployed. I told the girls, once you just wait for your dad. Well, I realized what I said, I can never say that again.
Mm-hmm. I think that brings up a good point, though, like having to play a double role at home. And that's how it feels sometimes. I haven't mastered it yet. It's a challenge, especially with teenagers. Oh, my goodness. Oh my goodness. But we get through it. I think there just has to be, I know I've said this before and I'm going to keep repeating it because it's important. You have to be able to trust each other, and you have to be able to rely on each other, and just understand what the other is going through. I think that's a huge part of it. I want to tell you guys a funny story. And then I think we're going to probably do another commercial, but I want to tell you this funny story. So so I met Ron online, and it was 8 months before we met at the TA in Buckhorn, Pennsylvania. And after he got here, he was here maybe 2 days, like 2 days. And he was like, "You're never going to make it." And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, "You're never going to make it as a trucker's wife." He's like, you're not going to be able to handle it. So it's been 8 years. Almost 8 years. It'll be 8 years in April. So can be done.
Right. Don't know.
Yes, it can.
Can be done.
We have some great comments. We'll get back to those as soon as I know Catherine was ready to go to commercial break, so we'll get back to those in a second.
All right, give us just a hot second here, guys.
Thank you for the comments, you guys.
I know, right? It'll be this one.
Treat a Trucker was started by Larry and Angela Baum, team truck drivers for FedEx, who wanted to give back to the trucking community one trucker at a time to thank them for supplying America. We're so proud to announce that we have other truckers that will be helping us spread this across the United States. Justin and Chris, Lori and James, Dutch, Larry and Angie. Please be sure to visit us on Facebook at Treat a Trucker to learn how you can treat a trucker to a free meal today. And don't forget about our Christmas raffle that is being sponsored by Trucker's View, where on New Year's Eve you can win one of 4 amazing prizes. All proceeds will go directly to Treat a Trucker to help benefit all the truckers in 2022.
Maybe they'll do a Valentine's raffle.
Rolling with the Underwoods with James and Lori Underwood. You can find them on Facebook, Rolling with the Underwoods, or also on A Trucker's View, where they showcase their life over the road as truckers with their 2 dogs, Thor and Lady, and the newest addition to the Underwood family, Bobo and Princess Rhinestone. They're 2 puppets who are always getting into zany trouble. Be sure to follow their life over the road at Rolling with the Underwoods, or also on A Trucker's View.
Woohoo!
All right. I do like that red truck.
Right? So shiny. So
I
shiny.
know. I love Lori's comment. She said it's so weird making comments. I can't imagine.
Mona said that she's actually been both. She has the perspective of being the lonely wife at home and waiting for, and waiting for the trucker, and then also being the one on the road coming home. And yes, you are tired when you get home. You just want to sleep. And unfortunately, you have laundry, you have, this and that, especially if you've both been gone. If you're both over the road, like Lori and James, you might have laundry you have to catch up on and all that stuff. So there is that double, spouse or double significant other being out on the road too, that when you guys get home, you've got all those responsibilities to take care of before you get back out there. You don't even feel like you blink and then you're back out again. So.
Right. And, like the other night,
I agree.
Ron got home at, what did I say? Like 4:30 in the morning. He got home at 4:30 in the morning, and he came in and like dropped his bag and got changed and fell into bed, like face planted.
And
I was like,
you have that too. You're like, hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
And then the next morning you're like, bye. It's fine. As truckers' wives, Angela said, how do you handle the loneliness that comes with the lifestyle? So you stay at home, girls?
That was a challenge in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie. But I think I talked about it earlier, doing things to make myself closer to him. Learning about the truck driving industry helped. Being able to be part of his day. So I always know the routes, his schedule. He'll show it to me, and I'll be like, okay, well, let me look and see, where the closest truck stops are to your pickup, because his boss never, I don't know what it is, they don't ever get it right, but I always help him with his truck stops. I always try to, at least once or twice a week, do a video call with him. Every time I have an appointment, he's my first phone call. And if he doesn't pick up, I know he's going to call me back, because I'm not going to keep
Yeah.
blowing his phone up because I know he's not in the truck. So,
I think too, if you're not, what I learned is if you're not a strong, independent woman already from a woman's point of view, you're just not gonna, I don't think you're gonna be able to do it because
right.
I was already on my own for many years. I was used to being alone. I had dated here and there, but nothing, significant long term. And so I already had that in the bag. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for something at the time where, I didn't have to have somebody there daily and I wasn't codependent and I didn't have those, kind of things going on. So for me, it was kind of just natural. Like we talked to each other when we could, and I was busy with work and he was busy with work. So before I got on the road with him, it wasn't too bad for me, but for some people it really can.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know why it's not. Did it show? No. Okay.
What's hard is when you are the one with the kids all week, dinner with them, and then the trucker coming home tries to correct them. It seems like the spouse becomes the bad guy.
I always feel like the bad guy, so.
Yeah, I feel that way. With me and Chris, we was married and then got divorced, and then in 2015 we got back together, and I don't know. I kind of feel guilty that sometimes I wasn't there for them, so I'm always trying to make up. And I know I don't need to be like that because I'm the mom. I need, so it is rough. Not on my kids, no.
No, mine either.
But that is
I'm trying to think if I know
question.
any that were interested. I don't think I do. About any of our audience.
That's why my ex-husband decided to be a driver, because he was out with his dad and
That's ironic.
and it was the only time he was able to be close to his dad. And so I think with that bond right there, that's what made him want to do it so much,
Yeah, that's what Chris, he
here.
became a truck driver because his stepfather was a truck driver.
I saw that, Brandy. Thank you.
Lori says, being a trucker's wife will make you or break you. You have to be strong and confident to go through everything.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
For sure. So when I met Ron online, I was actually at a really low point in my life. And after he moved up here to be in Pennsylvania with me, he really helped me. So I had, some of you know, some of you don't. So I'd been in an abusive marriage for a little while. And so when I met Ron, I was, like I said, in a dark place. And he really, really helped me build myself up. And I wasn't independent, but again, I guess it was, discovering myself alongside of him made me feel that much closer to him.
Yes.
If that makes sense. And so now, I mean, I miss him terribly. Like, I'm lucky enough that he's home every weekend, but I still miss him when he's gone. And I do wish he's here. And, but I also know that this is what he does. He learned to drive when he was 18. His uncles were all truck drivers. His brother's a truck driver. It's in the blood. It is in the blood. So,
Yeah. And once
um,
it's in, it doesn't go out.
no,
I definitely
no.
want to get to Dustin's comment in just a second, but I want to touch on one more thing that I wanted to bring up to the men in the comments. I was researching an article about the men in this industry, and I'm going to use the term lowballed. Guys, I don't know how else to say it, but they've been lowballed by women as far as them having the occupation of being an over-the-road truck driver, right? And the women in their lives taking all of the control away from them. So I'm just curious, have you guys had to deal with those struggles as well? Because when I read those articles, it broke my heart, quite frankly. And even women, have you, had been in a situation where you are not primary custody, and if the dad has the primary custody and you are a truck driver over the road and you are the woman, have you dealt with that as well? I'd love to hear both sides in your stories. Somebody want to read Dustin's?
My dad's brother was a over-the-road truck driver for 25 years. Then he got tired of not seeing his family and spending time with his kids. It went away.
Oop.
And being home for the holidays. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm lucky with Chris because he's home every Thanksgiving and Christmas. But it was like I was talking to Catherine earlier. For birthdays, I have one that's in February. I have two that's in May. We just, if their birthday don't fall on that weekend that he's coming home, we just schedule it around their birthdays. And that's how we do it. And like on Valentine's Day, I'm happy just to celebrate it sometime during that month. It don't have to be on Valentine's Day for me.
I know.
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead. Ask your question.
Oh no, mine was just that, on Mona's comment, I can hear, it sounds like you can hear in that comment some of the pain, maybe that her kids suffered, being away from her. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why they're, they feel that way to this day. And I can completely understand that and empathize with that for sure.
I think earlier one of our trucker viewers had said, a gentleman had said that it was hard to find a woman who wanted to be with a truck driver. And Ron went through that. Ron struggled to find a relationship because the first serious relationship he had, she practically, left him at the altar. And then the two other women that he dated, he was not serious about. And one cheated on him, and the other one took all his stuff except his dog. She took his dog to his mom's and took everything else. So he had a really rough road trying to find someone, and he found me. So I know, right, Kathy? So
I don't have a rate of the statistics on that, but I bet if we research that, the rate of infidelity is just insane. After what Ron experienced that,
I guarantee it. It's sad. It's sad because I feel it, and Ron has said this to me, the old school truckers, the asphalt cowboys, if you will, mad respect, man.
Absolutely,
they're good people, and they, would give you the shirt off their backs, and people don't know that. They all assume, dirty trucker, and it makes me angry.
Yes.
So it just, I just don't understand it. I don't, because I am so happy with my truck driver, and I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it for nothing. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Exactly, because I love mine. Yeah. And I have my independence. And there's times where I guess that weakness comes in where I'm like, I need him. And so now I guess that's one reason why I got Diesel is
Oh, that's a great point.
That's a good point.
He can, occupy my time when I'm start feeling that loneliness. And
Yeah.
so
Yes, Kathy.
he helps out a lot.
Yeah, to have that companion and a pet, that's a wonderful thing to bring to light. That is absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
Definitely. Oh, here's Lori. Yeah, and see, you've been through it both. So you're a perfect example of that as well. I'm glad we have people in here that have been through both sides of the spectrum in a lot of these situations, because none of us can offer, we've been on both sides, and yeah, military and trucking, like you guys are freaking champions, that's wow.
Heroes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's awesome. I'm not sure who Facebook user is. It might be Jeff, but good evening. It says good evening, ladies.
Good evening.
Hello.
So yeah, do you guys have anything else? So what helps you guys when they do come home? Like, I know, Catherine, you guys do a lot of board games, right? Like board game nights.
We do love family game night. So he's only home 2 days a week, but like on the short weeks, like this past weekend when it was only one day, we didn't get that. So and we did a lot of. So here's the thing: like we try to pack a lot of things into 2 days or one day, and sometimes we just try to we do grocery shopping and we fix whatever needs to be fixed if I didn't get to it. And then other times when he has extra time, then we play board games, and it just varies because with me being sick, there's a lot of things I don't get to, and like fatigue's a real thing. I've learned this. So
and I know we could probably discuss that on another show, but man, I don't know why it brought up like some of the chronic conditions that the drivers have. So even them coming home, having some ailments as well, like you having it and you're at home, and then them having it on the road too. Like, because I know Ron, struggles with some things too, as far as physically. So you put that together, and it's like, wow, you guys are also so heroic, to go through that and stay strong.
Yeah, we do the Uno and Phase 10.
Mona.
And, and get together. And then I hired a lawn man to come and cut my grass he don't have to deal with that when he's home. All right, Miss Angela, what is the hardest part on your kids when their dads are over the road?
Catherine, Kathy?
I'm thinking. I think it's adapting. It's adapting to, or like adapting to the different parenting styles. So where I'm not as assertive as Ron is, and that sounds kind of bad, but I'm just not I'm not Ron. I'm just gonna say I'm not Ron.
I want to come back to Angela's in just a second. I want to wish Justin the best. He's getting ready to get hit by the snowstorm, it looks like. And so I just wanted to bring that up, and that we could be.
Please stay safe, Justin.
Yeah, let's keep him in our prayers. Justin, thank you. We appreciate you being on when you could.
Thank you. Thanks for hanging with us.
Send Chris our love. Let me go back to Angela's here. One special thing you love to do when your spouse is home.
I think mine
I'm laughing at Angela's comments. Sorry.
Mine is just go out to dinner with mine and spend time with him, and
I know in our case,
I
it was
count-
going to see his folks. Like
Oh,
going to
okay.
see his folks together was really special because we had a really, really
Mhm.
good bond, you know, and that helps when you have a good bond.
Mona got mine. So after the day is done, after everything's over, just to crawl into bed and snuggle and just lay there and talk and ice cream.
Lori, I cannot with you right now. I cannot.
Ice cream. We all scream for ice cream.
Oh,
Is it
my.
Nolita? Hi, Nolita. I love your name. But yeah, oh my gosh.
Yes, snuggling is a big one for me. Ice cream is always a good,
Ice cream's always a good topping.
Yeah, love sitting in the bed and finding a movie to watch and cuddle in the bed and watch that
Right.
movie. Might not finish watching it because I might fall asleep, but
and if we just
I'm
talk
there.
and talk until we talk
You guys,
ourselves to
it's a
sleep.
never-ending lifestyle. Like it legitimately does not stop. It doesn't matter if you're out there with them, if you're at home, it does not stop. There is no rest for the wicked. And we are of the wicked, select few. We are like, you know how the MCs, the motorcycle clubs say like they're the 1%ers? Well, the truck drivers, their wives, their significant others, and that whole lifestyle, they are the few, the far, the brave, I give it up for all of you guys, just like I do our veterans. There are veterans of the road out there that we need to fully appreciate because their life doesn't stop either.
No, and
if the wheels aren't turning, they're not turning.
Exactly.
So I have a question for the wives, because I'm kind of at a loss myself. So, sorry,
Catherine, go ahead.
So how do you deal with driver burnout?
Oh, that's such a good one.
When your guy is tapped out and he's got nothing in the reserves and wants to, give it all up, and you know how much he loves it, like, what do you do? My heart breaks sometimes when I look at Ron because I can see, the creases and the tired and the tapped out, and it breaks my heart because I know it's killing him.
Mine went back
what do you do
about that several times. He weighed, whether or not he wanted to do that or become, in another profession or whatever. And what I did is I tried to listen and I tried to just support him. And I said, whatever you want to do. I didn't pressure him one way or another. Even if secretively I may have wanted, this or that. Nope. I kept my wants and my will out of it. And I think that's a lot of times all you can do is support and encourage and, but you can also discuss with them that, the this and this, what's the positives and what's the negatives of continuing. I think that's good too. Weigh your options.
Right. Chris is always, I don't think he's really told me he wanted to quit this. He's always told me he loves what he does. He loves getting out here and seeing the world.
Mm-hmm.
So he hasn't really said that, I'm tired of this.
I agree, Lori. You have to. You are in the truck so much, you have to. Even if you're in the truck together all the time, right? That doesn't mean you're spending quality time with each other. It doesn't mean that because you're both looking out a windshield, or one of you's reading, or one of you's looking out a windshield, the other one's reading. Whatever it is, that's not quality time. You're not having this connection, right? And by the time you get to the truck stop at night, you don't have time for that connection. So when you get home, absolutely, I completely agree. Mona, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Mona.
Oh, thank you, Mona.
Thank you for the encouragement. Always an encourager. You ladies in the chat all are. He needs a break. Mona wanted you to know, Catherine.
Thank you, Mona.
Larry had gotten burned out. I think it helps now that I'm out there too. Absolutely. I bet.
Yeah. And we've talked about that later, but for right now, I still have a little person to raise. So till that day, comes,
then
we'll
we're
make the
going
best
to
of it.
You.
I think with me, I was starting to notice every day I was getting because usually he does not do this. He'll, but for a couple of weeks I was getting, baby, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you, off and on during it. And I'm like, wait a minute, something's not right. He doesn't do that to me. So that's the reason why I came out on the road when I did, because, I think he was just, feeling that loneliness. And now since I've been out here, I've seen a total change in him.
Mm-hmm.
That he's been happier.
Oh, you know what we forgot? Look, I'm going to play with it now. Hey, Angie, we did have fun slides.
We did.
We want to give it up to all our single moms out there that are holding it down, to all of our single dads out there, and our families. Thank you so much for everybody and what they're doing. And I love this quote. No one understands the joys and struggles of regularly coming home and leaving again like a truck driver with a family does. So give it up for that.
High five, guys.
Sorry about that, guys, but we got them in there.
We were distracted by the talks because it was a good talk.
Such a good comment. Like, I can't believe the discussion. Like, it's just been awesome.
Yes, it has.
Oh, thanks, Andy.
We wanted to be proud.
We attempted. We attempted
for sure.
You're welcome.
You're very welcome, Lori. Lori, you're welcome. I am so thankful that we did this, and I am very thankful for all the drivers out there that are, keeping us moving and keeping, food on the shelves, whatever. But I am very thankful for you, and I know you guys have it hard out there, and I quit you ladies can host from now on.
I'm like, no. We are co-hosts for a reason, ma'am. This is yours and Lori's. We are.
Right.
Thank you, Sheila. We love you, Sheila.
Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you, Brandy.
I just wanted to say that shout out to the drivers and to the wives, because I get it. I hear you loud and clear. It's a rough life sometimes, but we get through it, and we keep on trucking, right?
Shout out
one day at a time.
Kathy that stay at home. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Lori that rides with. You guys are all holding it down. So there's so many different categories out there of supportive people for our drivers, and I appreciate
absolutely.
All. So thank you. Kathy, did you want to say something? I'm sorry.
Wow, my brain just went to a blank. But I just want to say, without a truck driver, we wouldn't get the vehicles that we drive. We wouldn't get the clothes, our food. We wouldn't be receiving any of that if it wasn't for a truck driver. And I thank them for that.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. Lori Leach, I agree. The weather is completely erratic right now. Robert has a great big comment.
Yes. Robert, we hear you.
Wow.
Me and my wife teamed up for 14 years straight, and just because you're in the truck, you lose your me time. And eventually, when we came off the road to do different things, that was like the end of our marriage. She did her thing, I did my thing, we grew apart, but still best friends. I will always be there for her, and she will be there for me. We became more friends than married partners anymore. Life on the truck is very, very hard teaming for 14 years straight. Robert, my heart goes out to you. You are a fantastic stand-up guy, and I am.
We're able to maintain that friendship,
That's amazing. What do you say, amazeballs?
Yes, you did it. That's probably okay to say on here.
Yes, Lori, we get through it when we have a tribe to talk with. Yes, because it helps me.
And what is one place?
There you go, girls.
What is one place you would like to vacation with your spouse?
There's so many, Angie. I don't know.
I don't have one, but I know
Montana.
where I want to go if I get one.
Honestly, this is I want to like take a road trip. um Anywhere. I haven't really traveled much past the Mississippi west. So I've been to like Wisconsin and I've been to Oklahoma, but that's it. And I would like to see some of the rest of the country, like Montana and Las Vegas and Arizona. And, you
Oh,
know, I'd like to see some of those sites that I'm afraid aren't going to be there. So like I worry about some of that stuff, you know.
Right.
okay, so we have Germany in the comments. We have Italy. We have Catherine.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah.
The west side. Catherine wants to go to the west side.
Yep.
Yeah, I know with me, I definitely want to see the Smoky Mountains, Dollywood.
So pretty.
Yeah. We just want to, again, guys, we want to, everybody send your prayers up for Angela and Larry and Lori and James. Send your prayers up for Catherine and Ron and for Kathy and Chris. I know Kathy and Chris are where the states have already been shut down. They're over in Maryland. Ron, you know, he's going to be running into some bad weather. So please keep your prayers going for these drivers and their spouses and their significant others. And please.
Oh, Mona, I love it. The Northern Lights.
Oh, yes.
Switzerland. Wow, Robert, that's awesome.
And the bombs in the Underwoods for them to get better.
We are planning a trip to Switzerland.
Oh, sorry, Kathy.
Planning a trip to Switzerland and the small town in the Swiss Alps for a month. Awesome.
That's fantastic.
Oh,
Lori,
yeah. I love picking up little postcards. Like, I was going to get shot glasses for my mom at the state I went to because my mom collects them. She doesn't even drink, but she collects shot glasses.
I have magnets.
Yeah,
So,
magnets are great.
and Ron won't bring me any anymore, so he says I have to be with him to get a magnet. So
I was too afraid that the shot glasses were going to get broken, so I never did do it. But my mom's got almost all 50 states anyway. So.
Oh, does anybody else get truck stop presents? Because I do, and I love them.
Oh, I love truck stop presents.
I love truck stop presents.
Have you ever gotten the big bear that's like the size of your house? I love that bear. It's so big. It's like
I didn't get that one.
Loves.
He brought me.
I want to get one, but I'm afraid Diesel's going to tear it up.
That's true, Kathy. And don't do it because that's like a $30 bear at Love's for like. Yeah, it would not last very long.
North Dakota. Oh, that's cool, Angie.
Oh, everybody listen to that. If y'all are in North Dakota.
Yep.
You're welcome, Lori.
We love you guys, of course.
We love you, Lori, Angie, Larry, James.
We need you back. We need
Chris,
your faces.
Justin. We love you guys.
We miss your faces.
Yes.
Thanks, Jamie. Okay. Anything else, girls? I think we touched on a lot.
There's one thing I want to bring up.
Yes, do it.
Okay. Let me get my phone straightened up again. Okay, there we go. So I know we've talked a lot about families and parenting and, you know, all those things, relationships, but the truck drivers and their families are part of a bigger family. We are all brothers and sisters in this and support each other when you're out there. And I can't stress that enough. Ron has shared many stories with me of drivers that he's helped or drivers that he's run into. You know, going down the highway, down 95 today, hollering at the other drivers, letting them know, get on that CB, guys, let them know what they're heading into. I was on Facebook today and one driver was sitting in Kenley, North Carolina saying, you know, I'm sitting here, it was icing this morning. What's it looking like up north? And I'm like, well, he's coming from the north, but it's just rain right now. You know, what's it doing down there? So, you know, I know, I don't know. I just feel like this is a big family and it, you know, we need to spread that love and spread that support because we're all in the trenches. We're all in you know, knee deep in it. So help each other out. If you see a driver struggling, help him. I know Ron sometimes gets frustrated because they don't listen.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because along with what Justin was saying, that it's a dying breed, right? The old school truckers is what's a dying breed. And I don't mean that based on age. There are a lot of those who are retiring. I mean the mindset and the heart. If you're an old school trucker, yes, the old school trucker soul, that whole legacy is quickly being erased and quickly being left behind, because everybody's just out for themselves. And I so wholeheartedly agree with what Catherine said. Be there for one another, but also if somebody tries to come be there for you, don't take offense at it. We're so easily offended. Don't take offense at it. Like, even if it's you've been driving for 30 years, you're not perfect. You're not there yet. You don't know it all. Let somebody help you. Take your pride down and let somebody help you. I love that.
Right. Just the other night, we in the middle of the night, somebody came and knocked on our door, and of course, what's your first instance when somebody knocks on your door in the middle of the night? And it was another driver, and he was like, his truck does something where it blows smoke out from underneath it, and the guy thought our truck was on fire. So, he comes over here, knocks on the door, and Chris answers it. He's like, "Hey, your truck is smoking."
Right.
And so, I appreciated that, even though nothing was going on. But what if something was going on that we didn't know about?
And I don't know how many times my ex would jump out and help somebody, park or whatever that needed help. Even veteran drivers can have, we talked about that with Chris, in her school, even veteran drivers can have an issue backing. There's just some spots that everybody needs help, so no matter what it is, just pay it forward. Exactly. I'm so glad you brought that up, Catherine. That's awesome.
Yeah, Chris was having a hard time yesterday backing, and I'm sitting here going, you got it, breathe, you got this.
Mm-hmm.
And we got it.
Okay.
I think we did it, guys.
We totally did it.
We did Angie and Lori proud.
We can collapse now.
I know.
Give it up to Angela Tom and Lori Underwood, who do this every single
I have to tell you guys, I was a nervous wreck. So.
Yes.
I think if I had never done StreamYard before, I would have been like,
first time. Yeah. First time for me. Never used it.
It's freaking awesome.
Mona says, I am old school as well. We helped one another. People are scared to help anymore. This is also true, Mona. She's got a good point.
Yep.
People are afraid to help. And actually,
yes,
there was.
Gary said we're hired.
We win.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Kayla.
Thank you, Lori. Thanks.
I did the name right.
What I was going to say though is, people are scared to help anymore, is what Mona said, and it is a very true statement. And it's not only that, but that people are afraid to ask for help also, and especially, and this happened to Ron up in Connecticut. There is a young woman in her 20s trying to back, and she was afraid to ask for help. And finally, he was like, she was afraid to ask for help. I'm not going to be explicit, but you can all imagine why she was afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
Right.
So Ron was like, no. Right. I got you. And he stood out in the middle of the road, stopped traffic, helped her back in. And she was like, can I buy you a coffee? And he was like, no, just wanted to help.
Oh, our Dawn is here, our driver. Hi, Dawn. Love you, lady.
Love you, girl.
Thank you. So she said we rocked it. Thanks for being here, Dawn. We appreciate everybody being here tonight. And I agree, and you do have to be careful when you go up to somebody and ask for help. You have to be very careful with that as well on the flip side, because even if you're a man, you still have to be cautious, because you could startle that person. That's the thing. It's very fear-based society now, and you could startle the person you're asking for help. And, you know, they could be prepared with whatever they might have. Like we talked about our self-defense, you know, they might have something waiting for you. So, but yeah, if you're, you know, just always watch your surroundings, definitely. So, all right, guys. Anything else anybody wants to add? Either in the chat or YouTube?
Does our viewers have any more questions for us?
Thanks, Gary. I want to know, I'm not trying to extend it or anything, but I'm just wondering, like in my situation, so his baby's mom let him have him for 30 days. And I'm just wondering if anybody's done that, where like you have the child for 30 days out on the road, just you and the child in the co-parenting thing. But if somebody wants to comment that on the replay, they can. You don't comment now. When are y'all doing this again? Is this Dawn still? I think it is. As far as our shows, we typically don't have them on Sunday night. It was just some scheduling conflicts and things like that, and just trying to get, due to circumstances with illness, we were just trying to get this rescheduled. But typically,
and I needed training, so
yeah. Typically the shows are every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. You can usually find, you know, all the team then. Yes, Mona, pray. And then the guys are live on Friday nights, and I believe it's the same time. Lori and Angela, if you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's the same time on Friday nights for the guys, for James and Justin and Larry. Thanks, Brandy. You too. Yep, it is Dawn asking that. So, yep, hopefully we answered that question for you, Dawn. If you have any questions on when that is, you guys can all visit Married, the number 2, the road. You can visit Rolling with the Underwoods, Chasing Miles. I think, am I saying that right? Chasing Miles. A Trucker's View, which hosts all of those wonderful couples out there. Follow Chris's journey while she goes through CDL school. We don't want to forget to mention Chris. She couldn't be with us tonight. You know, Kathy's always going to be there to help support everyone in the chat, whether she's home or out with Chris. Catherine, you know, watch her journey, her daily journey in the Divas, Trucking Safety Divas. We also have, we want to mention Divas for Victims. If you guys have not joined that yet, Divas for Victims has spawned off of, you know, of course, the last couple of weeks topics that we've been discussing. Oh, yep, Angela, 7 p.m. on Friday for the guys. Yes, so watch Trucker Safety Dudes, I believe that is, on Friday night. Are y'all going to do it again? Oh, you mean us 3? Is that what you mean, us 3 specifically? Well, what we're doing is we're just the fill-ins tonight. So anytime, you know, Angela typically gives people a chance that want to join, or maybe a special guest to come in. So we're going to give the reins back to them, and whoever she wants on here, then we'll fully stand behind her and Lori on whatever they decide to do. Okay, here we go. Friday at 7, Saturday at 7. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Oh, yep. And we haven't introduced that one yet.
No, we haven't.
Thanks, Lori. The cat's out of the bag. So
I was prepared for that.
I wasn't either. So yes, we will be premiering a new show called The Trucking Cancer Queens. And there will either be 2 or potentially 3 of us on that show. And we will let you guys know more about that as it unfolds, as far as what day, what time, and all that fun stuff. And it may be some random ones thrown in as well. We're not sure yet, but we're still straightening out all the details. We wanted to just try to make sure and get in here and do this show for our other divas.
This week was really wild for me, so I didn't get much done of anything.
Fine, Lori.
So no worries, Lori. I mean, it was bound to happen, and why not here? So
I'm so sorry.
We are very, very excited to be joining forces and sharing our lives and our views on it with you, and we will try to keep it as real as possible. That's our goal. Real talk. And so we are, like I said, like Ashley said, working out the details, but more to come. So
Dawn, can't wait to see it. Thanks, Dawn. We love seeing you streaming. I can't wait to see it either. Yep. I was so glad to see Angie and Larry pop on for a little bit and do a brief stream. I got on there a little too late, but you know, Lori and James, you guys too. I miss all you guys.
I
Thank
miss your
you
faces.
everyone for being a part of A Trucker's View. It is a combination, like I said, of Married to the Road and Chasing Miles and Rolling with the Underwoods. This big family, you know, it's just amazing. So thanks everybody. Anything you
Thank
want
you.
to say to close?
I believe we are. So thank you for staying. Ideas. Oh, we gotta love the ideas.
And Lowell, we can't forget about Lowell.
Ideas, Lowell. And go Raiders for Larry and Angie. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.
And cowboy hats. Oh.
Thank you, Larry. We love you too.
Larry, we love you, Larry.
I felt so bad when I heard his cough. I was like, oh.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Oh, you
you too?
All right, keep Dawn in your prayers. You guys, it's really going around. So we really need to stay faithful in prayer. If you're a prayer warrior, you know, stay faithful in that prayer for people and let's help each other kick these illnesses, you know, ones that we do and don't have control over. We're going to fight these, you know, so we got each other. Thanks, guys.
Yes, we got each other's backs.
All right, anything else?
I don't got nothing.
I think we covered everything, hopefully.
I think
Andrew,
we did.
have we missed anything?
I don't think so.
All right. Thank you, everybody, again, for sitting with us tonight and sharing your stories with us. They're very encouraging and, you know, for supporting all of us here on the Divas. So with that, I am going to close things down, and we will see you again probably next week, if not during the week. So
Join
thanks
us
again.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right.